In this video, we're going to look at sending form submissions to different thank you pages based on custom fields. So when the campaign builder was introduced, it provided the ability to use merge fields on the form's thank you page. This little hack here uses a simple piece of JavaScript to pull information from a customer merge field and redirect based on some of the fixed possible values. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Is I'm going to break down that JavaScript snippet, and I'm not a coder, so if you aren't as well, don't worry. It's very simple. Populating the redirect URLs and then putting it on the thank you page and basically testing it here. So first thing that we want to go ahead and look at is this snippet here. Now ignore these for the moment. We're just going to use this as our conditions. What we're basically doing here is it's literally a switch. So we're saying this is JavaScript. Go ahead and create a variable called x that is whatever the merge field is. So in this example, we're going to use a custom field called subscription to with fixed values of yes or no. When you're using this switch, you need to make sure that the field does have fixed values, a drop down, a radio button, yes, no, and then this way it'll actually control the redirect here. So inside Infusionsoft here, I'm going to go to my admin section. I'm going to go to my contacts, my custom fields for the contact record. I'm going to view the database names for the API. And you see this subscription to right here. I need this database name. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and go back into my code. And there you go. So now what this is saying is it says create a variable called x that has whatever the value of their subscription is. And because it's a drop down, we know there's only two options in this case, so it's a yes or no. So now here's our switch. It's a simple logic. Hey, you know what? If x is no, set the URL to be this. Otherwise, else, if x is yes, set the URL to be this. And then this is just a backup. Otherwise, this is the URL. So if for some reason this fails and none of these conditions are met, it's not going to brick the screen and hang it. This is a delay variable. We're setting it to 0 milliseconds for right now. Actually, you know what? Let me set this to 250 just so you can actually see it. And this is a pretty standard Java call. I didn't write this. Basically, it's saying reload to whatever is set as the URL after this many milliseconds. So whatever the URL set here. So check this out. So we're going to say if no is chosen, then we want this to redirect to a Google search for no. Okay. If the answer is yes, we're going to go ahead and redirect this to a search that is searching for yes. And then if it fails and it doesn't meet any of the conditions, we're going to go ahead and have it search for default. And this will basically just kind of prove the concept that this is working here. So this is my code, and then of course we end the script. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and now I'm going to go into I've already got a web form set up. It's getting this subscription. You can see it's a yes or no. On the thank you page here, we're going to go ahead and put this code. So I've put this text here to give us some context and explain what we're doing. We're going to grab an HTML snippet. We're going to go ahead and paste it in there, make sure everything looks good. There's no weird line breaks or anything like that, and everything appears to be looking okay. So we're going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to open this in another tab, and then I'm going to go ahead and publish it. This way I don't have to click back into the web form after I've published it. So let's publish this bad boy. And there you go. So now I'm going to refresh this. We should see our subscription field here. So I'm actually going to do two instances of this. So in this one, check it out. So here's my name. We're just going to use a test. And subscription is no. Upon submission, this should redirect us to a page that is a no Google search. There you go. Conversely, we can set this to yes, and now it's going to briefly show this page and then redirect to the URL for yes. which I guess is a band. I mean, I guess I already kind of knew that. But this code is a simple switching mechanism. All we're doing is pulling the value of a custom field with a fixed value, and then checking it against the possible values. When it finds a match, it stores the proper URL, and then redirects the page to said URL. And if no match is found, there is a default fallback URL to ensure nobody gets lost. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this hack was originally discovered and shared with the community by Todd Meyer, who was a fellow success coach with me at the time, and as of recording this video, he's one of the senior product managers for Infusionsoft. Really awesome guy. And again, been using this hack for years all over the place. Now, depending on the person's internet speed, you may, even if you set this delay to 0, they may still briefly see the thank you page, so you still want to make sure there's something there. What I like to do as a really good hack is I'll go ahead and grab an animated GIF of something loading. So here, let's actually do this right now. Let's go loading GIF. Google Images. Let's go ahead and find me an animated type. There you go. This looks like a good GIF right there. Cool. So on our thank you page, we can actually create a loading experience if we wanted to. So check this out. I'm going to go ahead and manually just put in this image, right? So it's a GIF. So now it creates this illusion that something's loading and whatnot, so when the page refreshes, it's a good experience here. You can also intentionally do this to create tension. You might, for example, I've done this in the past, if you're selling tickets to a live event, maybe this page says checking for tickets, and then you wait 5 seconds before redirecting to say, hey, tickets found. Now, one thing to be aware of is that any merge field can be used to control the switch, because we're just setting a variable. So it doesn't have to be a custom field. However, remember that when we're using field types that don't have a fixed number of values, there is a risk that someone doesn't redirect to the right place. If we are using things like numbers and whatnot, we can actually use math in Java as well. So if we had a whole number field, we could say if the range is between this and this, go here. If it's between this and this, go here. And if it's at anything above here, go here. Now there's one last really cool thing here. If we wish to redirect to another page that has the contact's email pre-populated in the background of another web form or landing page, we can add an email merge field to the redirect URL. In other words, what I'm saying is if we want this dynamic redirect to pass the person's email through the redirect, we can go ahead and do that. We just got to make sure that we're manually passing it using a merge field. So let's pretend that mywebsite.com/landing page, right? And we're using the hosted version of a web form, so I can say inf field email equals contact.email. And now, when it redirects to the page, this email will actually be populated with the person's email address, and because we're using a hosted web form on this example website, it's going to pull that information in. And so even though we're doing a dynamic redirect, we can still pass the person's information and know who they are. So if there's another form for them to fill out, if this is a multi-step kind of experience, you don't have to ask for the email every time just because you did a dynamic redirect. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this, so have fun with it. In the next video, we're going to look at adding a calendar dropdown to date type fields on forms.